Hey, we're live. Hey guys, welcome to S.T.S.H. Net Neutrality Talk. In the house we got Grim V, we've got Jazzy, and we've got the Jason Hicks in the house. I just see headset and glasses. I'm like, oh, I want to call him headset. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna discuss net neutrality. It's kind of a take two of last week's failed attempt at doing a hybrid podcast. Apologize for that. I do have the original transcript recorded from my local machine, so that hour that's missing, I haven't. Hey, is that me or is that someone else? That's someone else.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was my echo. I messed you up.
It's like, but yeah, we're gonna go on about a decade or so in review about net neutrality. Uh, got a timeline here that we are exploring, and it basically starts with the Brand X decision back in 2002, where the FCC wanted to treat cable differently than DSL. Uh, Jason, do you recall those days?
Yes,
Comments?
of 2002-ish.
Just a difference. Remember marketing? Like I remember they were marketing like cable 5 times faster than DSL.
Oh,
Get
I
Mhm.
cable.
grew up in the sticks of Virginia. I got DSL in 2003. Other than
Yeah,
that, it was dial-up from that time on.
yeah. Actually, it was pretty standard for most of those companies back, probably up till even 2005. It was pretty standard for most of these companies to have a backup dial-up plan in case your
Yep,
DSL failed or your cable plan failed. Very, very normal.
I had what was it? Verizon at the time.
Uh, let's see, 2000, actually, year 2000, I was working for Golden Triangle Online provider in Southern Ontario. I was actually web monkey up to the point where I failed upwards and got promoted to webmaster.
Wow,
Yeah.
2000. I was getting my A+ certification.
Oh, cool. Yeah. How'd
Lifetime
that work out
certified.
for you?
Lifetime certified because they changed it that
you're
year. You had to
you're
re-up
you're
every
you're
three
an A
years.
plus certi You're a lifer, are you?
Yes.
I just think it's weird that, like, I can go to the store and I can buy a DVD and then I can invite 100 people to my house and I can watch the DVD with them. But I cannot get on a fucking file share program and do the same exact thing. Somebody else has fucking bought a DVD. They're sharing it with us in their virtual living room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How is that illegal? I'm trying to.
The FCC just does not have enough people to have them camped out in front of your house in case you watch a fucking movie.
It's the lazy. I think it's the laziness of the actual fucking artist these days, really. Because look, take it from some new artists that are coming out. The way that they do this thing, they don't care about their copyright. They don't care if you play their music on YouTube. They don't care about all this shit because they make their money with their shows. They do live shows, and that's how they make their
Absolutely,
money.
Yep.
absolutely,
You can't go and do their live show. That would be a copyright,
and,
But to play
and
their fucking music, that's
right,
retarded,
and to sell records or CDs, I guess, or
right?
tapes or whatever. And the funny thing is
It's
that
like
actually
you can't.
this is the direction that this whole conversation tonight is going to go in. Is that at the end of the day, is that it's an industry where it wasn't designed to go in this direction, and the powers that be don't even know how to maintain it or even how to control it. And
Yeah, they don't.
I
that's
think they
actually the
do.
whole point of it. Well,
I think they've done this before. This is all part of their same old media control as the first time they put out the first Bible.
well,
The same thing.
I think, well, I would agree with
Everyone
you
else
on
who's
most
not
levels.
listening to it, this isn't a. It could have been easily, it's a copyright issue.
Well,
you know,
here, I'll give you an
Display the rest
example.
of the
Yeah.
non-believers.
I hate to fast forward to the future in this thing because right now we're only at 2002. But like when you have like the Comcast versus the FCC, like you have the courts are gonna like be like what the fuck because nobody even knows how to define who's going to be the boss of the internet. Like I'm the boss of the internet. No, you're not. I'm the boss of the internet. And the court's like,
the
well. we don't
Yeah.
even know how to determine who the boss actually is. So
They don't even
let's
know
say,
what a person is, you know. So what
well,
happened was they waited so long to bring this out so they could confuse and condition the populace into not even understanding what a person is, what a human is, the difference between corporations and people. So the language and everything can be so miscued and misunderstood, you know.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
even used properly. We don't understand what they're talking about. I say we as in like the masses.
yeah,
We
yeah,
don't
yeah.
understand what they're trying to do to us, you know.
Well, it's not just that though. It's like the internet itself, like from the public perspective, and those that are employed by these companies also don't understand. And um, okay, let's look at it this way. Let's look at a very smart young lad, Mr. Tim Wu.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
Tim Wu.
2003, January 12th, 2003. That's when net neutrality was coined. The law professor, of course, he's a professor of law. He doesn't know shit about the internet, but he's a professor of law. He uses the phrase net neutrality in an article that he wrote. What does he say here? Communications regulators over the next decade will spend increasing time on conflicts between the private interests of broadband providers and the public's interest in competitive innovation environment centered on the internet. As the policy questions this conflict rate, what? As the policy questions this conflict raises are basic to communications policy. They are likely to reappear in many forms. So far, the first major appearance has come in the open access or multiple access debate over the desirability of allowing vertical integration between internet providers and cable operators. Proponents, okay, basically it means to say is that like the guys who are trying to come out with like good cool services on the internet but don't have a whole lot of money because they're a small company are going to get squeezed out by the larger corporations and people who can like fulfill bandwidth like fulfillments basically, like if they have quotas or what have you. Um, okay, so what he's saying is that net neutrality would be like an even playing field across the board, and that's the altruistic hippie tree hugging hippie version of what the internet
Yeah.
should be. That's what it should be. You know,
It's just the
uh,
wording itself is retarded. It's not neutrality. I mean,
well,
you know.
it is, but
It
it's
is.
it's altruistic. Like it's almost too like hippie like.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Like a lot of people say, oh, net neutrality, like they got it reversed, but at the same time they don't realize that they have it reversed. But at the same time they've also got it right. They just don't know that they got it right, even though they got it backwards.
Well, it's a paradigm. However you look at it, you're still trapped. So
Well,
if
it
we
is.
just
Yeah.
take away the wait, listen, if we just take away the fucking the actual copyright law that says that you can't play somebody else's music somewhere or do something like that, you just take it away by not acknowledging it. We do not acknowledge it. Everyone stands that one place and says, you know what? Fuck you.
Well,
You wanna copyright that kind of shit? You're gonna probably have to do a show. Okay, that's where your money is going to come in because you can't tell everybody they can't invite people into their living rooms,
you could call
virtual
this.
living rooms or not.
Yeah. You could call this nuke neutrality. It could be like circa, let's say, 1944, and you could have like or maybe 1946. I'm not sure. Like when Operation Paperclip kind of started, and it's like, oh, okay, well, it's better that we have the nukes than these guys over here. It's like we want to control net neutrality, not those guys. FCC wants to control the net, not Comcast. So what we're
Right.
going to do is we're going to have net neutrality. We're going to give everybody, you know, and we're going to get into a little bit more of how they came to the conclusion that they deserve that right to be the
Yeah. Well,
boss of the internet.
let's
But
clear it up real quick on how it works too, guys. If you're thinking that it means you're going to get faster internet, you're not. It doesn't mean that.
in
It's the same
2003,
internet
in 2003,
slowed down.
nobody had fast internet in
No,
2003.
nobody really cared about. They were just happy to have
It
at
was like
least a 1.5.
bah, ting,
Yeah.
ting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
Too many people calling you. You dropped the
And the
line.
only people who are voting for faster internet right now are children. They want to play faster games. That's it.
Or
It's
horny
not like
adults.
it's they're well, they're
But
they're
they only needed 30 seconds at a time. So
About up to about 30, you're still pretty much a child in this day and age if you're playing video games like
Hey,
that.
man, I'm 41. Don't bury me before I'm dead, dude. Come on.
We all know that. I play them too, but I'm saying
I
I don't
play
let
video
the game
games. I'm
play
just
me.
saying.
I don't
Oh,
think about the game all day. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I'm not walking around through the store going, "Oh man, that looks like the Call of Duty room." You know,
You're
this
not
I'm
like
not
using
making.
this every day, all the time to play your
I don't
game.
even have one of those. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got
I,
one of these with
hey,
no
hey,
browser.
I was an addicted Eve Online player for 5, 6 years.
Yeah,
Matter of
there you
fact,
go. That's the
my
people that
phone
were wanting
company's calling me. My phone company's calling me every day for the past 2 months now, telling me you have to get a new phone or you're not going to have service anymore.
to.
Your phone's so old, bro.
Hey, hey, the 1980s phone. They want your phone back.
Yeah. It's like
Carbon.
fucking Miami Vice. Flip it open, flip like Star Trek.
Zach Morris phone from Saved by the Bell. Big,
Yeah,
big bag phones.
damn,
Remember
bro.
those in a bag?
Yeah,
In your
Oh
What's
but
that? Is
trunk?
that
my
the
God.
Motorola Razor?
Oh, the razors. Oh yeah, that was
Those
that
were
was chic.
indestructible.
You were a pimp or a hooker, one or the other, back in those days.
Yeah.
You could kick those things, throw them against the wall, drop them out of a truck. They still worked. Good luck today with that. You know.
Actually, I remember those Motorola pagers, like going back even five
Oh
years
wow.
earlier. Remember those things, those black ones? Standard like those things. I've seen them run over with a truck. Maybe the belt clip would break off, but the unit
dude,
would be like,
I've stuck them in fucking drywall and stuff, thrown them across the room, and stuck them right in the drywall.
and then you get a text and it vibrates itself out of the wall,
Yeah,
or not a
that's what it
text,
was
sorry.
doing. It was vibrating when it hit the wall because I was so pissed that this bitch kept calling me. I think I was in high school. Ah,
That's when you're like, you ask your girlfriend, like, have you seen my pager? And why are you smiling? But yeah,
I get it. I get it. Took me a minute.
yeah, it's
It
like,
gave me butterflies in my stomach.
aren't you
Wink.
doing? I thought you were gonna do laundry.
She's doing laundry.
Yeah, it's like I know the spin cycle's over. But yeah, March 5th, 2005. Okay, FCC orders ISP to stop blocking voice over IP. 2005 was pretty much when it was pretty the early days of like what do you call it? What was the
Skype.
voice service? Not so much Skype.
It was like
Skype was
that.
Skype was one of them, but it was they had the other service providers. Oh shit, I can't remember the name of it now. It's a big one. They had it on TV there. You could
Web TV.
not web
MySpace.
TV. Actually, hang on. I'm just gonna look it up. Like
Yeah, just look it up because there's a whole bunch of
yeah,
them
there's a
now
whole
that
bunch.
the voice over IP, a lot of people
There
don't
was
I
use
said
anymore.
first one
MySpace.
that had established. They had established companies right at the beginning, and they weren't internet based. They were. Oh, actually, I should probably.
What are you talking about right now?
Well, net neutrality applies to all of these like leverages levies that the FCC or Comcast is trying to push on people, and this goes not just against customers. This goes against the companies that are trying to do their thing. This is like huge, huge, huge. This is huge. All right, hang on. VoIP companies here. Trying to
I know
remember the guy.
Vonage is still around. They still use
Vonage.
voice over
That's the
IP.
one. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Vonage is still around. That's the one I was thinking of. I was like, yeah, it's
That
got to
was
be
the big one.
Vonage. That old.
It was the big. That was the big one in
It's
2005,
still big.
2006. And they're still huge. They're one of the first, and this is like they're the ones that actually had hardware. Like you'd actually get a phone, you get an actual physical unit that you could plug into your hardware. I mean, like what would we get like 10 years later? You get the fucking that thing on
Magic Jack.
the Magic Jack. That's it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's basically
exactly.
what it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
where they actually give you a phone like a cell phone that was connected to your house phone,
and
and
now
your
they got
internet was
soft
integrated.
phones. Now they got soft phones. They got like you got your open source soft phones, and they're just basically software phones that just you load up
Right.
on your computer. Now your computer just replaces that hardware unit, right? Because it's already connected to the internet.
You know all they are, right? You know what they are, right? They're just tiny digital ham radios. That's all they are.
They're tiny little cans with strings attached to them.
They're just ham radios, man. They're rolling off of the 800.211, whatever, 802.11, shit like that radio signal that our
Wireless.
Wi-Fi
Well,
runs on.
AD net.
that's your
It's a
Wi-Fi.
radio
Yeah.
signal.
Well,
Your
that's your
GNN
Wi-Fi
networks.
from in your house,
Yeah.
802.11, and then you got your AB, your G, C, D, V, S, T, D. But yeah, no.
it's one of those things I'm trying to point out to people about compressed radio signals getting bounced off the ionosphere from one particular area, and they point it right at the ionosphere in one area. That way, you think you're dialing into a stationary satellite, that geocentric or orbital satellite. It's just a bouncing
Well,
wave off of the ground
you
from
know,
the
I'm
ionosphere bouncing off.
I mentioned the word parabolic earlier, talking about something completely different, about domes, and how a lot of things are dome centric. Like a lot of architecture is dome centric, and sometimes they have a hole in the center looking up
Mm-hmm.
and out, right, as an escape
Yep.
vector. Now, I'm not sure if that's to let things in or out. I made that comment early tonight on Matty D's show. Now, the thing about domes and dome centric is that it's very like atmospheric, because it's dome shaped as well. Now, if we look at what they're doing with the atmosphere, it's very reflective. Now, if you reflect things off the atmosphere back towards us, our atmosphere is basically one gigantic parabolic mirror.
That's what you're saying. That's exactly what we're. That's exactly right, man. And from the bottom, shooting it up, it comes back down.
In the same
And
direction that you're looking at it from.
right, exactly. Even if you could even point it at from another area, and just point it to that area, because that's and pick it up, because that's
Well, you can
the
bounce it.
focal residential
Bounce,
area. Yeah, what do
you
you
can
call
bounce
that?
it.
Rabbit ears back in the day was like that. You just point the rabbit ears in the right direction, you've got a channel.
That's this.
Yep, that's exactly
That's
what this
what
is.
this is. Yeah, it's just
You
the
can point
radio waves are
you
just
just
more
move it to
compressed.
one location to the other, and you can get different stations. Unfortunately, it sucks today. You can't do that. You can't even fine tune it like you used to back in the day.
Well, now they digitalize it with a scrambler, so you have to you can receive the signal, but you get it as a scrambled signal. You have to have the box to unscramble the signal. That's all this
Yep,
is.
yep,
It's nothing tricky like they've been trying to make us think it is. I
yep.
mean,
They've been doing.
some of us tech nerds, some of these tech nerds out here know uh, what I'm talking about. I mean, for some reason they don't push this shit as hard as they should. But why do you think you need licensing to get a ham radio?
Hey,
Because you
you
ain't
know
supposed to
what?
be floating around on those signals.
Why do you think companies like Win Mobile are succeeding right now? Why? Because they're using up all of that bandwidth that's not being used by the old services like Cantel, AT&T, and T, and Sprint, and uh, Sprint. Like, remember the old PCS services and shit like that? It's like all that stuff. Like, that's all reserved frequencies. They're not being used. Why? Because they're not cool anymore. They're not cool. They're not
Yeah.
fast enough. You can't. Oh yeah. So it's like, no, we have to have 3G, 4G, LG, 5G.
I'm pretty sure Grim can take out his phone right now in the boondocks and it would work, and I take out my same phone and it wouldn't. He's probably still got analog on his phone.
Yeah, yeah, and you don't.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like mine's so high tech. I can't start a fire by hitting it off a rock.
Got some steel wool, you can use the battery.
That's right. Well, yeah. Well, that's probably the only way.
Yeah, that is.
And until they come out with like I don't know, like plastic polymer batteries or something that's like.
Yeah, another thing, this battery, this thing will last one whole week.
Oh,
I mean,
probably
all I do
longer.
is charge it and leave it alone for a week,
Mine
man.
lasts a whole like half day.
6 hours, 12 hours if I'm lucky.
See what I mean? It's on purpose. You guys are stuck on a charger all day long.
That's what battery apps are for. I get about 24 on that, but yeah.
So net neutrality, yeah, the way people look at it from one aspect, like you're saying, it's funny. Almost. If you just take away, just if people can stick to their principles and say, and forget about all the confusing stuff that comes along afterwards, because that'll get you caught up in the con. You know, just
Because net
it's like,
neutrality, it doesn't exist. It's a concept.
right.
And
It's not. You're creating false net neutrality. You're creating a slower lane to make perception of a faster lane.
right.
You know? So you can perceive it as, look, there's a faster lane. In reality, it's just there's a slower lane.
We're gonna get to a funny bit about that, Grim, and it's coming up soon. We got past the void bit. Okay, so 2005, June 27, we got Supreme Court Brand X decision. FCC is free to leave cable internet access unregulated. This was one of the big ones in 2005. This is where they're like, cable internet is now unregulated, while at the same time DSL is fully regulated. And what does that
DSL
mean?
was at the time?
Huh?
DSL was at the time?
Oh, it was already like the
Oh yeah, I
FCC
see what you're saying.
already unregulated cable, but the Supreme Court said, yeah, they're right in that decision. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, FCC, we appreciate you coming out and teaching us something about this internet. And you know, the big black dude judge on the pictures. That's why I said it like that.
Sorry.
But anyway, uh, 23 of September of 2005, same year, FCC issues Internet Policy Statement, and this handsome devil, Kevin Martin, says FCC Internet Policy Statement sets out proto net neutrality rules for ISPs. Oh no, now they're starting to. Now this is where the FCC starts to mobilize. They start garnishing rules to go out, and do shit. So now 23rd, not even a couple months later, FCC deregulates DSL. They're like, all right, DSL. Yeah, okay, you've proven yourself now. I remember 2005. Some areas DSL was faster than cable. Some areas cable was
Yeah.
faster than DSL. It was like just depends on where you were, your switching station, your local company that was doing it, whatever.
Switching stations. Haven't heard that word in a while.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know where mine is at.
Rob will date himself fucking all day. You'll see.
Having deregulated cable internet access, FCC deregulates DSL as well, removing important consumer protections for internet connectivity. Wow, what does that mean? Well, basically means that the consumer is no longer protected by their fair decision to buy any service anywhere because it's de-fucking regulated. So that means that now, like, the anyone listening out there, I'm not talking to the panel directly here. I'm talking like out there, like deregulation is not a good thing. That just means that the companies that are selling the service have carte blanche over the service that they are soliciting. So that means to say that if they want to charge you for emails, they'll charge you on a per email basis on their server. And what they're trying to do and what they're aiming for is charging you to go to premium or high what's the word like high traffic sites like YouTube and stuff like that. They would have done it like if it hadn't if net neutrality, like, and this is where the good part of net neutrality kicks in, because if they hadn't have been hit by regulatory principality, you would have been charged for your 3,000 views on YouTube, as opposed to making money on a monetized channel kind of deal. Now, fast forward, anybody who expects to use pipes for free is nuts. Talk to any dealer. Pipes aren't for free. No, I'm just joking. Edward Whitaker inadvertently confirms why net neutrality is important. ISPs want to demand a cut from every website just to reach their customers. Yeah, this is where, like, because of the deregulation now, ISPs were cutting into everybody. This was rampant. In fact, in 2005 is about a year and a half after I had quit. No, 2 years, 3 years after I
Three, right?
yeah,
Jeez.
3 years after I stopped working for Golden Triangle Online. It was the last year of my business registration for my company, which was Jason Creative Web Influences. Now, I they were digging into everybody at this point, and it's like, when does the madness stop? Well, it didn't stop here. Senate considers net neutrality law. This is May 1st, 2006. You guys looking at this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, read it out.
It's
And
too
then
tiny on my screen. Network
huh?
neutrality discrimination. Is that what it was?
No, it's the 2000. Sorry, May 2006 entry. May 1st. Senate considers net neutrality law.
Oh, you skipped a few on me.
Well, I talked about it. You can listen to it in the backtrack.
Senator considers net neutrality law as a part of a proposed but ultimately doomed attempt to update the Communications Act. The senator considers a bill that includes a reference to net neutrality. So we'll click on that link, right?
Considers.
Yeah, he considers this. We'll pop in a new tab.
Now
Oh,
this,
sorry, this page is not found. The link to
oh, of
that.
course
So
it's
there will
not.
be no furthering your information from that link.
That's right.
Public knowledge. It says public knowledge, and it's empty. A nice empty entry.
It won't even
Beautiful.
tell you where he's from, will it? I'm
No, it's
wondering
just
if
Okay.
he's
it's
from Seattle.
completely fucking empty. There, you can actually embed this if you would like too. This empty fucking slot. It gives you an option to embed it with the full script down here. So
I'm
isn't
gonna
that
call, I'm
cute?
gonna call my company Empty Slot Predictions.
That's not a bad name for it because whenever you go through looking for some of this more intense information, it does seem to disappear rather quickly.
Totally.
He is from
Next
Alaska.
one, Jason. You want to hit the next slide?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm totally going to channel. I'm gonna totally channel that. I'm gonna kill my mic and hit my Pulse audio monitor here so you guys can listen to this guy fucking go off because
All right.
it's literally like one of the funniest speeches ever. And then there's actually a dance song that somebody made out of this, which is just brilliant.
And this is the next article over, a series of tubes.
Yes.
Oh yes, yes,
Cool,
yes,
cool.
absolutely. Let me just go and hit freaking new tab. I'm just going to YouTube here. Yeah, you guys are gonna love this because
Screen share.
it's a little bit daunting at the beginning because like where is he going with this? The guy sounds like a moron, and then by the time you get to the end of it, you're like, yeah, yeah, he's totally a moron.
You're gonna screen share it then, right?
I will. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
There's not really much to see. I think it's mostly an audio speech,
Sorry.
but I'm gonna yeah, Blue Falcon, yeah, okay. So I don't want to click on the wrong one. I want to play the song first because it's just funny. It gives it away. But, I got a slow computer still. I just have to.
Jazzy G still here? Or is he having internet problems, it looks like?
He was here. He was. I think he's got his mic muted though.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna start screen sharing now, guys.
Okay.
Series of tubes. Yeah, it's pretty funny shit. When you hear him go, like it's like, wow, can anybody be so like educated and internet smart? Because this guy knows his shit. He knows his shit like nobody knows the internet. I think he worked for ARPA. Just saying. All right, guys,
Just saying.
I'm killing my local mic, and I'm going to my monitor, so I won't be able to talk.
Right. And hitting play. Here we go.
Is allowing all of these entities that support this to provide streaming stuff going on the internet. Now the internet, let's go back. Internet started with a concept of local to local connections across the country. You could go for Air Alaska, but you had to go through local connections to get there. The industry wisely provided for streaming for, in effect, a new kind of long distance, and that's what we've got. We've got a service that's immune to distance, and it's there for the consumer. But when we take and really indicate that anyone that wants to use this system for massive commercial purposes. Well, there's one company now you can sign up and you can get a movie delivered to your house daily by subscription by delivery service. Okay, and currently it comes to your house. You put it in the mailbox when you get home, and annually or monthly you change your order. But you pay for that, right? This service is now going to go through the internet, and what you do is you just go to a place on the internet, and you order your movie, and guess what? You can order 10 of them, and it's delivered to you, and this delivery charge is free, right? 10 movies streaming across that internet, and what happens to your own personal internet? I just the other day got internet was sent by my staff at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I got it yesterday. Why? Because it got tangled up with all of these things that are going on the internet commercially. And here we have this one situation where enormous entities want to use the internet for their purpose to save money for doing what they're doing now. They use FedEx. They use the delivery services. They use the mail. They deliver in other ways, but they want to deliver vast amounts of information over the internet. And again, the internet is not something that you just dump something on. It's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes. And if you don't understand, those tubes can be filled. And if they're filled, when you put your message in, it gets in line. It's going to be delayed by anyone that puts into that tube enormous amounts of material.
It's a series of tubes.
He's a government tool at the finest. He's a good tool. Give him a pat on the back for that.
Am I back?
Yes, you are back.
Ah, cool. Yeah. It's not a truck. You can't just dump it. It's a series of tubes. I like how you use the and if you just keep on stuffing things in there, your stuff's gonna get there late. Oh man, awesome. I mean,
I don't know. That's up there with Al Gore and Bush's internets.
oh yeah. Oh no, or Radio Shack's interweb. That was funny.
Interweb, yeah.
Well, here's the trick. They're sitting there trying to talk about it as if it's some sort of like a plumber could fix it, with pipes and tubes, and you got a clog in the tube, and they're not talking about it the right way. It's like these fuckers with solar wind. They try to tell you about solar wind as if something's blowing around on you out there.
I'll give you an analogy, Grim.
The way they talk about it to keep you confused as the reality of what it is. So then you'll be in this state of mind thinking clogged pipes. Yeah, he's right.
It's like the education system, though.
Not
and,
right.
Like I had a computer teacher, right? And we're supposed to believe that our teachers are smarter than we are, and I come to class, teaches me something brilliant and groundbreaking, and basically like, okay. I walk away, groundbreaking, yeah. Anyway, so I go home with some awesome information. Anyway, but here's the truth of the story: that I learned from my teacher that what we learned that day, he learned the night before in teacher school. Because it was moving so quick that he didn't even know this shit.
Shit! I even do that, man. I was homeschooling my stepson a couple years ago, 5th grade, right?
Yeah.
And I'm smart, man. So I would have to go and refresh on shit, to make sure. I was like, what the fuck is this talking about, man? They word things so differently. Your school's stupid. So we did a lot of that. Well, that was before the homeschooling started. I noticed that something in the books, it was weird. It was like they're not teaching these kids anything. They're telling to back up a facts. You need to call the news station. I'm like, no, listen, I'm gonna have to do something about this because that's not how you back up any facts. Call a news station. Huh. You know what I mean? This kind of shit, and it was just like regular conditioning into the children. And that's just one small little thing. I mean, there was fucking 30 of them that in the first day. I didn't like.
I used to get practically into like tooth and nail fights with this fucking teacher, like just completely at odds. Like, and I hadn't figured it out yet that he was just going to like school like 2 days earlier to learn what he was going to teach on a blackboard. And then I'd like be like, nope, that's not right. And he's like, well, no. A print statement, is meant for. I'm like, yeah, but it could also be used to insert code into. No, can't be used for that. It's not. I was like, yeah, but I did it since I was 6. You fuck.
Hey, one
Like,
question. Dude, is he getting a Dell?
no, this is before those days. This is when we still had like 286s going. Dell was
No, I meant
actually
the senator with tubes. It sounds like you probably learned all his lingo off them Dell commercials back in the day.
Dude,
Dude, you're getting a Dell, and I'm like, oh wow.
dude,
I
dudes.
can't deal.
No.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny too, is that Dell happens to be one of the better brands now in the day, like we were talking earlier.
Hmm.
Um, like, uh, and I'm not, they are not my sponsor. I'm just saying.
They've gotten better since HP and Compaq merged, and I think
that
Dell's
that was
better.
one of the
All
worst
right.
mergers ever
Well, I got
because
my two favorite dudes here.
I can't separate the two now because like it's like you try to get drivers for one, you're like, which one am I getting it for?
Yeah.
Mm. Maybe one of you guys know if I could pick your brain. Where did Tandy ever go? Remember Tandy?
Candy. That was actually, yeah, that was Radio
Radio Shack.
Shack. Yeah. Funny, Tandy Corporation actually owned Radio Shack Canada until they sold it to Intertan here. And then they did a split and a divide. And that's when Tandy was taken off the shelves here in Canada.
Tandy
I
went the way
remember
of
it
the
was a TRS 80. I had one of those.
yes. Tandy went the way of the Atari 800 computer. Just
No, Atari 800 made a little more money.
Well,
the
yeah,
Commodore
gaming.
64 and the VIC 20. You know, to put them to the
You know
side.
why?
Oh,
Because kids like
Commodore.
me, we got
You were
tired of like writing full pages of code in order to get the computer to go do do do
I
do
remember
and
my
turn
man
colors.
when I
I
was
would
about
do that.
four
I would
years
write
old. I
full
was like
pages of
four.
code just to make it blink
I
and make.
remember watching my father. I don't know. I was a troubled child, but I remember watching my dad at the age of 4 or 5, maybe, watching him like type out like 18 pages of code from a magazine that he got in the mail, and he'd be
I'd do
like,
that. That was me.
and then he'd be like, "All right, you ready, son?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is awesome." He'd enter like, break error. It'd be like break error. I'm like,
Oh.
awesome. It said
Yeah,
something.
I always seem to get it to work, man. I used to do that same thing. I'd get a magazine and just start typing in all the code,
Oh, he
and I
only
would
did it
make like
once
little
where it failed.
shapes and
Yeah, back in the day.
He thought it would work. He thought he had immaculate typing techniques. It didn't. He didn't though. And then it was that one time that it failed. And I don't think he ever did it in front of me again. But the other times he did it, he probably bug checked it. He probably found like programs that would like check his syntax and stuff for him. They probably loaded off the cassette tape, and that probably took 3 hours to load the program to check his code that he spent 2 days to write. Yeah.
I don't know. I think when I was younger, things were a lot easier. I didn't really have any problems writing the code, copying exactly what was in front of me. It's so weird. Maybe I went slow enough or didn't care to try to go too fast or I didn't, you know what I mean? Something's
Yeah,
different
just
when you're younger like that.
well, I mean, my father's like he's in his late 50s now. Actually, no, he's 66 now. I'm 41, so yeah, he's 25 years older than I am. So yeah, he's in his 65 or 66.
Yeah.
He just turned 66 this year. So having that, I mean, oh shit, yeah, the VIC 20 was the computer I believe he was writing programs for. I mean, I wrote my first like basic program on a Commodore PET computer, and that's with the monochrome green screen.
Oh,
And
jeez.
oh yeah, that fucking it was a whole
CGA.
piece unit. It didn't have a disk drive. A disk drive was a separate unit. It was ooh, I believe. Oh wait, the 5041 was a disk drive. That was a 5 1/4 floppy drive for
No idea
VIC
what you're
20s.
talking about.
But I can't remember the number on. But it was a dual disk drive. It's 5 1/4 dual disk drive for the Commodore PET back in the day, and that shit was about the size of like a Cadillac. No, it was goddamn huge. It was
Yeah.
huge. It was like massive. Fuck. I mean, the biggest VCR that you've ever seen from like 1980s is still smaller than this fucking thing. It was huge.
Yeah. I see. I remember Commodores coming later after I was at that other situation.
Oh,
You
Commodore's
know,
been in. The Commodore was actually in there before IBM, to be honest with you. IBM with the IBM XTs. There's the 8086s and then the 8088s. Jeez. And they were shite. And then you had to get graphics cards for them. You had your XGA or your CGA.
CGA.
Yeah, you had all these weird, oh, my monitor can blit out like 8 colors of text as opposed to your monochrome. That's awesome. But guess what? Commodore, after the VIC-20, came to 128. After 128, bam, the Amiga comes out. Had an Amiga 500. That thing had what's called ham, hold and modify mode. That thing, 4,096 colors on the screen, bitches, and you didn't even have to buy a video card for it. Yeah. An 8-bit sound on top of that. Yeah. Right out of the box. And like that threw IBM for a tizzy. You know what? They probably had some kind of a strategy that threw the Commodore out the goddamn window from that point forward. Anyway,
and they're all already together working on fucking moving us through this technology
there's
so that it's
there,
always
there's a
controlled. The new stuff doesn't come from us,
there's a
comes
European
from them.
movement right now bringing the Commodore Amiga back. Actually, out there, I was just looking at a website, I don't know, 6 or 7 months ago, and they're making a full comeback in terms of
Yeah.
popularity through, kind of like a really good series that got canceled that you want to get returned. Well, people are getting this company back because the Amigas were awesome, dude. The Amigas were fucking brilliant. They had a great programming language. They had a great OS, really lean, every program they ever like would run, whether it was a game or productivity or whatever, they ran well. Yeah, and you had emulation modes to go back. Like you had an IBM emulation mode for PC DOS. You had your Commodore 64, your 128 modes. Can't call it DOS, but it's kind of a DOS like system. But anyway, yeah, it was brilliant. Brilliant stuff, man. It was actually kind of ahead of its time and just poorly managed from a business level, as are all great things, right?
Not my usual conversation.
Yeah, well,
Because I
well,
wasn't during that time. I was young. I'm like 5 years younger than you. How old are you?
who?
You 45? You said, oh, you
41.
said 41. Yeah, no, never mind. I'm like 2 years younger than you.
I'm
For some reason,
33, and I remember everything he's talking about. Well, some of it.
I was bouncing in and out of foster homes a lot at that time, so nobody
Oh,
was giving me computers. I had a Nintendo when it first came out, but
good
I didn't
stuff.
play it much.
Well, what's funny, Grim, is that like when I was in a stable household, when my grandfather, well, my mom passed away. I lived with my grandparents and my father. My grandfather was a of the bunch, and he was the one who bought the computer. We had the first like VCR on the block. You know what I mean? He was a photographer. He was a videographer and Air Force pilot. My dad, um, he was a steel worker and just a smart guy. So he caught on. After my grandfather died, and everything else, and well, my father also became kind of like I don't want to use the term software pirate, but he just became the handler of several articles of programs that w- found their way to other hands. And I remember like closets full of volumes of like, so I mean I had like quite the exposure to like almost all programs like right across the board, whether it would be Commodore or you know PC or what have you.
Mine was an old compact, I think 486 DX2, 50 megahertz.
Oh, geez. By those days, I had actually, you know what? I quit computers cold turkey because I left home like during my Amiga 500 days. I was doing music sampling and mixing at the age of like 15, and I had a little band and doing stuff and what have you in clubs, and then got into a tizzy with my dad, and I left. I was like, yeah, well, fuck you don't know what you're talking about, yeah, fuck off, and then I just left, and didn't touch a computer again until I was about 19, like 4 years
Mm.
later. And that's like I had to kind of relearn some stuff again because I went over to IBM, or I hate to say that. I hate it when I say that, like PC based stuff, um,
PC compatible.
like non Commodore.
Yeah.
And when I
Back
did
then, when
that,
you quit,
I
you
I, w-
probably
I went
went from
backwards.
DOS to 3.1.
I started up a bulletin board system on a IBM XT.
So
And then I got a
you
280.
took a break from DOS and had to jump into 3.1 or 95.
Oh, actually, no. I was DOS all the way at the beginning. In fact, when it came to multitasking, I jumped into desk view. Like
Mm.
I went right away. I went from nerdy to ultra nerdy, and I started with BBS, and I was running like front door bulletin board system, mail handling software, and then got a second phone line and ran my BBS off of that, and then started a second BBS and got a third phone line and ran a separate mail handler system off that, and
Just
then
think,
created basically a South Ontario wide Fido Opus network.
wow, I think I've been using Linux now 10 years, so it can't get any geekier than that to me. So you can run
Yeah,
something
well,
with
yeah.
OS that long.
Actually, 15 years ago, the year 2000, 1999 was when I had my Linux challenge for creative web influences. I replaced every single program that I used on Microsoft Windows with an equivalent program in Linux and did it successfully. Like, if a customer handed me a Photoshop file, I would not use Photoshop to open it because I did not purchase Adobe Photoshop. I would use some other equivalent to open the file and work on it and then convert it back and send it to them and get paid for the job and not be
Wow, the
doing it
early days of
illegally.
photo editing, there wasn't many choices.
Photo editing, well, we didn't have the problem like 15 years ago. We also didn't have to worry about like raw format. We didn't have those formats back then. But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, I could use Linux guilt free. And now I've gone and done it again with my new company with Echelon Publishers Group. Like I've gone and done it again, the Linux challenge. But it's way easier now. Like I mean, like the open source communities embrace so many other techs, and the commercial companies have embraced the open source community because they know the only way to get the cheap cocksuckers like us that don't want to spend the money is to like fold and give us the code. For most intents and
Oh,
purposes.
knuckle under.
Oof, tough crowd.
So
Knuckle
what's
under.
this Skype?
I laughed, but I was on mute.
No, the Skype request wireless right to attach. What's that about,
The
Robert?
which? Yeah. Headphones are falling off my head. What's that?
The next one's about Skype.
Oh, brilliant. Yes. The whole Skype bit. Yeah.
I wasn't even using Skype till about 2 years ago, to be honest.
Well, okay. There's a little bit of a preamble to that story, and that's when remember when fax machines first came out?
Oh yeah. Well, not
Brad?
remember. I remember when using them. I don't remember when they came out.
Okay, well, when they first came out, they had to create a new law. Well, not a law, but they had to create a new policy. The FCC actually had to create a new regulation for devices that hooked up to phone lines that were not phones. And it's called the Carter phone rule. And it was for any device that was a lawful, non-dangerous device that hooked up to a phone line. Like, and that includes like your 56K modems and anything else that are external that hook up to a phone line, like so fax machines, blah 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 blah, and the list goes on, right? Anyway, Skype had to file a request with the FCC to have a wireless version of the same thing for their phone that you could use, like if you're in your home with a wireless or any wireless transmission, like area that. Anyway, they had to file anyway. That's just this day marks the day that they filed it, which is February 7th, 2007, which is not really that fucking long ago in terms of where
No,
we are today. I mean, like really, that's
that's
just
pre
like
before Microsoft bought them, correct? Microsoft
uh
bought them a couple years ago, I thought.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is like right after my Hunter S. Thompson days, and like I really don't remember days and numbers very well, or
Mm.
names, or places, things, or faces. But that's just
And
That
the people at the time were probably still using AOL and Yahoo Instant Messenger when Skype was
I
still
was still using
popular.
acid on a regular basis. So yeah, no.
Yeah,
But
video wasn't that big at that time, I don't think.
then here comes a big one, guys. A huge one. Comcast blocks BitTorrent.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. September all the way to November. And I remember this big time because I was downloading tons of movies and um, content that would normally be free. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, I know. I download lots of like crap, and it was like, bam. I remember what was I using back then? That would have been not uTorrent. There was another one back then in those days, like
Azarius.
LimeWire or
LimeWire.
Azarius. I think it was LimeWire, and that was a BitTorrent. That was a BitTorrent client. This it was a proprietary version, but it was still a torrent. And yeah, it was getting shut down. That's the same time period as Napster. It was actually just after Napster, I
Yeah, just
believe.
after Napster.
Yeah, right after Napster. So Napster gets shut down. They had a choice to go corporate or fold, and they actually chose to fold if I remember my history correctly.
No, they're still around.
They were still around.
They're still around today.
Well, they're still around today, but I mean,
I think they became part of a Sony corporation for a while there, right after
yeah,
it
but the
happened.
other guy stepped down. The owner stepped down.
Yeah,
Like
they
he
stepped down.
folded. Yeah, okay, that's what
The
I meant.
property
Like,
was bought. The IP was bought.
okay. No, that does. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went public. That's right. Wow, the company went public. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, so
You know what
Comcast blocks BitTorrent. Now, it wouldn't have said that they were blocked back in the day
Yeah.
because it was being denied, and it's like, why am I getting such shitty service? This is a shitty website. This BitTorrent shit sucks. These guys suck balls. I ain't gonna use BitTorrent again.
Yep.
Sorry, Grim. I cut you off when you were speaking there. I was just in the middle of my sentence.
You know, I literally thought I was muted. Sometimes I just blab, you know.
What? I can't hear you. Oh, no, I'm just joking.
I went blah, blah, oh. Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt. I did that before. I went and hit the mute button, but I unmuted myself and said yeah, bang, bang, and went oh. Then myself, I was like, damn it,
You
I need to
farted out your mouth.
stay muted, damn it, until I'm ready to say something for sure. Sorry about that. Yeah. Shit, man.
So
This
right
net
after that, there.
neutrality. You know,
Well,
if it's
you got
what?
Comcast now. They deny. Of course, they deny blocking BitTorrent, right?
Yeah.
I know I had no problem with Verizon at that time because that's who I was using at the time.
Well, you know what's funny is that
Well, Comcast did it, and they also sent letters out to people
Yeah.
who were downloading and shit. So
Yeah.
they're more than in your business and all about centralization. That's for
And
Yeah, they
sure.
were
and
going off.
because it was unregulated, individual ISPs they gave their
I never
fucking
responded.
they gave their programming, not the programming departments, but they gave their IT departments like carte blanche. Like if you detect these downloads, then go ahead and tell them. So what they would do is they would literally, if they detected you using those certain ports, they
Sniff
would
you
they,
out.
they would put you out, and you wouldn't get any service. So
Tons of
you,
college campuses were getting.
Oh, we never responded to any of their bullshit, and I continued. I had never stopped because to me, I'm in your virtual living room, and you're sharing a video with me. I discard it as soon as I'm done. I've never copied it to a disk. I've never
Right.
done anything stupid like that. That's stupid. That's
Yeah.
rude. I'm not trying to make money off of nobody. I'm just
Yeah,
sitting in a virtual living room watching a movie. That's all I'm doing. And if you want to beat me in court, bring my fucking peers and beat me, motherfucker.
Quite frankly, you know what? That's fair use because guess what?
That's
Just like
right.
you pay for your cable to watch a show, you're paying
Thank
for your internet and you're watching the same goddamn show whether you got the room full of people or not.
That's right. That's right. And I don't care about how fancy you tried to make the rule. It's still stick to my principles. If
You
I'm
know,
sitting in the
Microsoft
living room, I
tried
can
that.
watch anybody's movie I want, and this is a virtual living room. You called it yourself a virtual living room. You know what I'm saying?
Tried what you're talking about of like with the new Xbox One, they had a little Connect thing to it with the cameras on it, and it would detect how many people would be in the room watching that DVD. and it would only
Yeah.
let the two people that owned it are registered with the Xbox to watch it.
See, it's not
Oh
as if
yeah,
it's
with
a real movie, it's a virtual movie. See,
So they
now you're
stopped
into a
that.
different realm. I'm trying to express something to people. This
Yeah.
is a virtual realm. It's not a real realm. So it's not like there's a real copy of a real movie that's getting sold somewhere. There's nothing real getting transpired here. Nothing back. So you have to break up their bullshit and allow
the
yourself to
real
be
realm
free.
is virtual too.
It's fucking virtual. It's a virtual. It's like getting charged for murder for playing fucking Call of Duty. It's not real. It's fucking stupid rules, and they're gonna try
Ah,
you like
man,
that. They're
that
gonna try
reminds
you
me.
like that.
That
You can
reminds
kill somebody
me.
in a Sims game and get fucking fined in real life in a minute. Watch.
That reminds me of Call of Duty. I can't remember which one it
You know
was.
what I'm saying though?
One where you're going through the airport and you're posing as like a Russian terrorist, and you're going to an airport, and then you just have to start mowing down people. That was a very disturbing mission. Like, it was bizarre because it's like, what?
Yeah, there's a lot of stupid missions like that.
And it's
It's
like,
just like doesn't make sense.
I
yeah,
haven't played
it's
in
like,
Call of Duty ever, so
oh
I'm old
man,
school. I'll stick to my Doom and Quake.
oh dude, no, no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I really did like I mean, there's a little bit of predictive programming and a lot of like that whole survivalistic kind of mentality going
Well,
on. It's
yeah, the
the
reward system. You know, they reward you
Bro,
for stabbing your
you know
friends in the
in
back.
another but in another game though, what was it called? It was the oh shit, The Last of Us.
Halo. They
No, no,
reward
no.
you for stabbing
It's
your
like
friends in the back and shit.
it's like an actual feasible zombie apocalypse where it's like a fungus. It's like a insect fungus mutation takes over people, and it's like they're like zombies, but yeah, it's called The Last of Us. It's kind of
oh
like
yeah,
The
that one. Yeah.
Walking Dead kind of thing, but it's pretty good, like dramatic wise, you know, it's dramatically wise. Anyway, so yeah, Comcast. They deny blocking the BitTorrents. They say Comcast insists that it only delays the traffic.
Yeah. Still
Ah,
hasn't today.
okay, so we're still in November now, 2007, though. Public knowledge and free press file a complaint demanding that the FCC investigate Comcast BitTorrent blocking. See, now here it is. Here it is, guys. This is the point where, at this particular level, now the public is aware, and the people who give a shit are really giving a shit. And then the free press is going to jump all over it because they want to investigate it, and they're also going to go after the freedom fighters in the in the public domain, but still kind of associated with the government and journalism. So like, they're like, yeah, let's get on this, let's fight by the people. So the FCC steps in. January 9th, 2008, the FCC steps in. Here, I'll even screenshot that. It's kind of a dramatic. It's a dramatic picture. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. Present to everyone.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
on the fucking
yeah.
website, so
The
Yeah, so am
FCC
I.
steps in, responding to public knowledge and free press complaint.
Problem,
The FCC
reaction,
opens an investigation. Yeah, problem, reaction,
solution.
solution. You got it, brother. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, well, since I'm screen sharing, so, I don't like this because a follow up to the last earlier one there, FCC dismisses a Skype petition. Without wireless Carter phone rights, all wireless equipment must be pre-approved by wireless carriers, aka the providers. An unknown number of innovative wireless devices never make it to the market. Yes.
Hmm.
Clinch hold, done. Innovation out the window. Cultivation, 20. FCC orders, August 1st, 2008. Order Comcast, stop discriminating. Okay, the same people who are deregulating both cable and DSL so that they can go and without any kind of, control, discriminate against whoever they want to, they go and tell Comcast to stop discriminating. Now, I'm not saying discrimination is good. What I'm saying is they're telling them to stop discriminating while they said it's okay for two other entire industries to discriminate. They
Yeah.
deregulated both of them. Fucking bullshit, FCC. Suck balls. I'm not
Circular
even
logic.
American. Yeah, I'm not even fucking American, and the FCC could suck my balls. We got the
That's about the time
CRTC.
where BitTorrent took a big dump. Pirate Bay went down that year.
You're right.
Humanoid went down for a while.
Yep, yep, yep,
ISO
yep.
Hunt took a dump a couple, that
ISO
time
Hunt.
too.
That's right too. Yes, 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 yes. And a couple of them turned tails and went corporate. The one big company went towards iTunes. What the fuck was that one?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, there's a couple of them that got nailed. They got shut down, and they came back up, and they started charging, and then you can find them on iTunes about a couple of months later. I'm trying to. I'm sure. I'm just so horrible with names, but there's a couple of them.
Yeah.
You do
But
better
anyway,
than me, bro. You do better than me with it.
but documenting
I'm not
Comcast
gonna call you
behavior,
out on your names.
prohibiting Comcast from discriminating against BitTorrent traffic. Okay, Comcast appeals, though, of course. Comcast is like, what?
Dun dun dun
Penalty.
dun.
Now we're dealing with the monopoly right now.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, the
Well, now
thing
you're
is,
seeing the conditioning is what I'm is what I see. It's now you're seeing that all the things that have already been are just being set up to where we can rationalize it as being and okay. See, it was
Yeah.
already that they already ruled us through all that, but now they're just like setting up all of these little rationale blocks for us to start setting in. So for our conditioning, that, oh yeah, that's okay now. Oh yeah, that's okay now. Oh, okay now. So that way they don't have to hide like that anymore. It's
Right.
more. It's a lot of work hiding and ruling like that through so many
Now
different
everybody's like,
proxies. They just
Comcast helped us out, back in the day. Now they're going to help us again with their monopoly. And I'm like,
but,
no, they're
but,
not.
yeah.
but
Oh,
so
sure
did
they are.
the Yeah,
Yeah.
but here's the funny thing. Okay, watch. This is the funniest thing because I think at this particular point in 2008, this is when both FCC and Comcast forgot about all of us. Now they are concentrated on each other.
Well,
Because like
it's like this.
FCC is like,
It's not that
hey
they forgot.
Comcast.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say FCC is like, hey Comcast, you're being a bitch. And then in like what September 4th, 2008, Comcast is like, I'm appealing to the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals because FCC, you're being a bitch. And then, guess what? Bam! Barack Obama wins the presidency.
Wait,
Bam!
I know, but think of it like this though. In reality, to me, I look at it as they're the crack dealer, right? And they just give you this free crack for free, a little
Yeah.
bit, get you started, and
Absolutely.
then they play all these little games, sidewinder, right, for you. So now you got
Brand
to
new
come up with
president,
money. It's
brand new
not free.
president, brand new president, and he's
They
all
got you
up on
hooked.
that neutrality.
Yeah. What was that movie? Yeah. They got you hooked. Fucking, fucking. What was it? God damn. Fucking brain fart.
And
This
now
is
What's the
he
name of that
awesome.
outsourced
movie?
everything.
And it was in the 80s. Fuck.
This
You
is
know
like
what I'm talking
6
about.
years ago now. FCC begins
Tough
net
colors.
neutrality proceedings. Check this out. FCC issues a notice of proposed rulemaking beginning the proceeding that culminated in the Open Internet Order. Like that? The Open Internet Order. What does that
Yeah, I was
sound
about
like
to
to
say, I
you?
saw that.
What does that sound like to you? I'm
And
just saying.
Fucking New Jack City. I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
What? Now,
Yeah, it's like New Jack City, man.
DC Circuit hears oral arguments on the Comcast order. Oral argument before the DC Circuit signals trouble for the FCC's order on Comcast traffic discrimination. It's like, oh my God, kids, settle down before I turn the truck around and go home.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's
April 6, 2010.
yeah. DC Circuit Court rejects the FCC's use of Title I ancillary authority in punishing Comcast and calls into question now the FCC's ability to issue net neutrality rules. Okay, right. Okay.
Okay, calls into question. Let's open that
Who's-
link real quick.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
pop in
yeah.
that and open in a new window. I want to
Totally.
see what they're talking about on that. Sometimes that shit gets my attention and fucking pisses me off.
For good reason.
The
Yeah,
context.
watch it be. I knew it. Oh, I fucking knew it. I wanted to put money on it.
You
I mean,
have to archive.org that.
But here's the
get
funny
strike
thing,
two
right?
for this motherfuckers.
But I'll tell you the
What's
funny thing. I'll tell you the funny
Neutrality.org
thing about this.
timeline?
It's probably, you know what? It probably was good 2 years ago or whatever, wherever this thing ends, right? It probably was good. But what
That's
I'm
what I
saying,
mean.
but here's the funny thing is that this is the best part. This is where it starts getting really cool. This is like a soap opera, man. FCC chairman Jenna Chowski announces a third way. Third way.
May
FCC
5th,
chairman. That's May 5th.
2010. I just throwing it out there for
5
people to
years
still
ago.
timeline it.
Yeah. The transmission component of a broadband service as a telecommunications service. Whoa. That means the FCC does have authority to implement net neutrality rules. Ha ha! Bitches! Bam!
I just want to know what exactly is the FCC. I mean, I know. I mean, you know what I'm saying. But like, what should
They
people
only
be asking?
Oh yeah,
What
yeah.
exactly is it? Who is it comprised of? Where did those folks work before they got jobs there?
Or
Mass telecommunications company, of course. They were all
absolutely.
CEOs of big mass media corporations.
I'm saying the revolving door thing, and most of people around here are not looking at that at all.
Well,
Who's
like-
benefiting from our beliefs, right?
they're like the
We believe
Federal
that we're
Control
doing-
Commission. They control
Yeah.
all broadcasts. But the thing is they can only control broadcasts where broadcasting is the medium. See, and this is the funny thing about the internet.
It's all going to be called broadcasting. What do they do? What do we say? Start broadcast now. We're broadcasting.
Well,
when
this
we
is why no one knew how to be boss. No one knew who could be boss of the internet because broadcasting could be like with radio, broadcasting was easily defined. With television, broadcasting is easily defined. With internet, broadcasting is at first easily defined, then suddenly it gets turned into a goddamn fucking hodgepodge of sharing.
If I'm yelling, I'm
files.
broadcasting.
Well,
If I'm
yeah,
yelling, I'm broadcasting.
yeah, but if I'm secretly fucking sharing files to somebody else and then you're actually hacking into it, then what? Does the FCC have any ordinance, or does my ISP or my provider have the ordinance? Like
That's what
that, it becomes who has the authority because nobody's a boss. Like you're not the boss of me now.
Anymore. You put all your stuff on the cloud.
Well, this is why Comcast is trying to jump in because you got to remember. Remember, this is why this is funny, and I was saving it for the end. I was saving it for the end of this slide, brother. But when they say announces a third way, it's more like a three-way between the FCC, DC, and the fucking Comcast.
Yeah.
It's a one-way.
It's like a three-way.
It's a one-way. There's a gorilla at the back of the room. Yeah. It's a one-way because you don't get your shot.
Oh, enter Google.
Yeah. It's not going to be nice. It's more like a bad situation. You know.
Guess who wanted to cut?
When do we get to win one? We don't ever get to win one with this shit. So
Pirate Bay's still up. We won something.
But who's to say that that's not just generating revenue right now, letting a lot of people get aware of it so that they can all get caught up in that system of being entrapped and taking those things.
BitTorrent's still going to be working with Linux machines. So
I would think
you know what's
more
really
along the
funny?
lines of that it's not that they're winning, it's that they're look. I don't look. In reality, if they didn't want that shit up, it wouldn't be up. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? Like they could have stopped that shit, and
they don't need to. So. They don't need to because
no, they're using
for those who get it.
Us up with because they think that. They can make a criminal out of everybody.
That's what I was going to say. Those who get it, and pose a threat. Now they've passed enough legislation to make those people look like absolute threats, and they can do away with them. The others that are intelligent, they can be discredited and shamed. The other ones are just too dumb. They're just going to download fucking porno or watch football.
Yep.
Or Grey's Anatomy, whatever the case may be.
What about people who do all of the above?
I'm
just
awesome.
Yeah.
You can see through the bullshit. That's why you do all of them.
Exactly. You know, that way you don't know what I'm up to. Is he a truther or what is he doing here? Why is there Grey's Anatomy?
He plays Magic the Gathering and now he's talking truth. What the heck is he gonna do next?
Right, yeah. And he watches Grey's Anatomy. Actually, I've seen that. I know what that is.
Yeah, he flies a spaceship on EVE Online called McSteamy.
Creepy.
Totally.
Yeah, man. So There's your
Oh,
timeline. Listen,
I was
FCC's
gonna say in one of my hip hop lines, I kind of wrote this. It's like it's written, but unrecorded. It's like uh, if you were on Oh wait, yeah, if you were on TV. Oh, if you were on Grey's Anatomy, you'd be called McWeenie. Anyway, so oh yeah, I just totally skipped that slide. Um, Google and
it's better with a
Verizon
P
attempt to cut
behind it,
net
right?
neutrality deal. Here's the thing though, when Google first got in, I didn't know this until I actually looked at this slideshow. Because I actually, honestly, up until we were all getting scroogled and this and that, until actually Google bought YouTube, I had no. I actually thought Google was one of the good companies out there. I thought they
Yeah,
were
so did
cool.
everyone.
Yeah, and I had no idea that like you guys got to remember at this point in history, at 2010, the idea of net neutrality was still based on the hippie tree hugging version of everybody having a level playing field, right?
Hmm.
Um, right now, what net neutrality is just a fucking word. It's just a statement. It's a placeholder for somebody to use for some kind of public opinion to get votes. That's all it is now. Like, net neutrality really technically doesn't exist, only as a concept, just like communism. But anyway, Google announces a compromise of Verizon that would exclude larger parts of the internet from protection. Ultimately, the agreement is not adopted, but that's not to say that it wasn't on the drawing board. And I can just totally picture like Wile E. Coyote, like back to the old drawing board again. Oh, this is beautiful. FCC issues the Open Internet Order again. Back with the order, fucking like like oh words, eh?
Yep. Words.
FCC decides against reclassification and finds other authority issue the Open Internet rules. Um, is that not an oxymoron like jumbo shrimp or military intelligence? Open Internet rules.
Yeah.
Open Internet rules.
More red tape.
Rules for an open internet. It just boggles my mind. But yeah, look at that. Preserving the free and open internet. Today, the Commission takes an important step to preserve the internet as an open platform for innovation, investment, job creation, economic growth, competition, and free expression. And I nowhere in that I didn't even see fucking porno in there anywhere. To provide greater clarity and certainty regarding the continued freedom and openness of the internet, we adopt three basic rules that are grounded in broadly accepted internet norms, as well as our own prior decisions. Number one, transparency. Fixed and mobile broadband providers must disclose the network management practices, performance characteristics, and terms and conditions of their broadband services. No blocking. Fixed broadband providers may not block lawful content, applications, services, or non harmful devices. Mobile broadband providers may not block lawful websites or block applications that compete with their voice or video telephony device or services, and no unreasonable discrimination. Fixed broadband providers may not unreasonably discriminate in transmitting lawful network travel.
You shall not pass.
And begin. Next slide. September 23rd. After administrative delays, the Federal Register publishes the Open Internet Order to take effect on November 20th, 2011.
Oh,
The
I like how
Open
there's a
Internet
CFR in there.
The Open Internet Order.
Council of Foreign Relations right in there, part 0 and 8.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's like bam. I'm not even gonna like. Yeah, I'm not even
Go on
gonna
a
go
rant
over.
about the CFR. Let's go. Keep going.
Yeah, we're just gonna skip over it. Hey, if we go quoting their shit, that means that their black magic is working.
You say
Verizon
something
challenge.
about SpaceNet?
Hey, Verizon challenges the order. So yeah, going back to Verizon, Google, DC said no, right? Verizon appeals the open internet order to the DC circuit, questioning the FCC's authority to impose the open internet rules. Because remember, does the FCC have any authority? Well, apparently, Buddy with his like three-way said that, yeah, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Well, well, public interest groups tell AT&T to stop blocking FaceTime. That has nothing to do with that. Just, but yeah,
Right.
you said something about FaceTime there, Graham.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing: is that now we got because now at this point in 2012, this is like only 3 years ago. Social media is a big deal, and there's a huge proliferation of smartphone devices. Like, I mean, even 3, 4 years ago, there was a lot less on the street. You know what I mean? A lot less people had them. Like,
Blackberries were still around 3 years ago.
well, Blackberries are still around now, but this is like way dwindling numbers. You're right, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, I mean, and then but the thing was, is to make them available to people. What did these providers do? They would bundle the services on them. Like, oh wow, you want a smartphone? I tell you
Yep.
what, I give you Facebook. Oh, no, okay, it's not Facebook, it's FaceTime. It's close, close. It's almost Facebook.
Hook
You
you in
don't
with
have
all the
time. You don't have
free
time for Facebook.
features. Free
Yeah,
features.
yeah. But I'm trying to make a joke. But yeah, it's just yeah, it's like it's like come on, you can't bundle stuff because
Yeah.
it's like it's not access to the internet. What you're doing is you're providing basically preferred by the company that's the provider their preferred bundles based on who's got whatever contra deals that they have in between them, right? So yeah, what does it say here? Yeah, AT&T decides to block FaceTime on its mobile networks for subscribers unless they enter into a mobile share plan. So yeah, you get into a
So that good
plan, then
old
you get the
family plan.
service.
Yep.
Yeah. New notified. Okay, so yeah. Oh, but it's against the open internet. And again, I know the word order's in there. We all hate the word order because it sounds like something that we hate. But still, it still sounds like it's a good concept that there's some kind of regulatory concept trying to bubble and spew into formation here, you
Right.
know, and well, AT&T agrees to unblock FaceTime. Looks like we're winning. Yay!
Okay.
Oral arguments and challenge the open internet order. Oh, apparently it's bad.
Two
There's an
days
oral
before
argument.
9/11.
Like it's like right away. But for during oral
Sounds right.
arguments, Verizon concedes that the FCC's open internet rules are the only thing preventing it from charging websites from reaching Verizon subscribers. Oh, now see, this is where we're getting down to like the almost to the granular level, like down to the individual customer level, where
It sounds like
it,
we're going to the Great Wall of China method of here's your OD for the internet.
it's more like the Great Wall of China version of here's a smash in the asshole, and you're gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah.
A smash in the asshole. I'll be right back. Hold that thought.
And you're gonna have to smile when we take your picture. That'll be 25 cents, sir, for the print.
Oh man. That nickel and diming you the whole way.
Yeah, totally,
It's a
totally.
dollar for the card, a dollar for your picture.
Well, here, look, AT&T announces that it will allow edge providers to pay in order to exempt their services from the data cap AT&T imposes on its customers. Yeah, totally. That's the road.
It's like it's still around, isn't it? Edge is LTE now? Something like that. It's still around.
Ugh. I have no idea. Really?
Yeah, I think Edge is basically what 4G LTE turned into.
Okay. Well, see, like in Canada here, we just have the 3G, 4G. We don't have Edge out here that I know of by name. It could be called something else, though.
Yeah.
It could be resold because like I said, we always have here is Bell and Rogers, but don't kid yourself. Bell is Telus and Rogers is Shaw. Like if you go
Yep.
East Coast, West Coast, like it's. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Ted Rogers slept with fucking what's her face Shaw before he kicked the bucket. So anyway, and I don't quote me on that.
Right.
DC Circuit overturns the open internet rules. reaffirming the FCC's authority to promote the growth of the internet, but telling the FCC that if it wants to treat internet access like a telecommunications service, it cannot classify it as an information service. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. I
yeah.
mean, what's your equivalent to the FCC in Canada? Is it?
CRTC.
It's just as
Uh,
bad, or it's probably worse with the new
yeah, it's
51 bill.
it's pretty much worse because it's still a colonialist group. Um, at least you guys have the beauty of never being a sovereign country in the first place, so you're not controlled by the British colony because you've never been sovereign. You're just a bunch of rebels anyway. Um, we're completely colonial. We only got granted autonomy in the '60s, late '60s,
Yep.
and now yeah, we got the CRTC, that's Canada Radio Telecommunications Commission. Um, I think they're actually like building it right next door to CSIS, which is the
Oh,
Canadian
great.
yeah our CIA, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, and all roads lead back to Parliament Hill, or Sussex Drive rather, and by roads I mean not internet, radio pathways and bouncing. I think we probably had more spies here in Canada during World War II and the 1970s,
Yeah.
listening in on communiques across the world, like across the planet. We got so many dark secrets here in this country that I'd probably get shot if I even said half of what I think I know. Well, the FCC tries again. Gotta remember, Comcast is in the background. They still want some, right?
Yeah. So
And
is
that,
Verizon.
and like you know, it's like this. The FCC is like, you'll never get this. You'll never get this. But one day, Comcast gets out of the cage, and you get this. Yeah. Wait for blah blah blah. Yeah,
Where are we at? 14.
yeah. Now we're
April
at April
23rd.
23rd. New proposal leaks. The FCC intends to rely on the Section 706 authority and propose rules that endorse fast lanes and slow lanes online. This results in widespread public outcry. The same people who want net neutrality in the hippie tree hugging kind of way are now kind of just wanting to be the boss of the internet, really. Cocksuckers. Net neutrality is a fucking farce, guys. Anyone listening? If you're disgusted and you're tuning out, and tune out after the fact that I say it's all bullshit. FCC releases new proposal. Tentatively concludes that it will allow fast lanes and slow lanes online, but also includes questions about Title II reclassification, and this is a big deal. Title II reclassification goes back to hardware and devices. Oh, now we're going to go on about a comedian.
Our favorite one. Not.
I'm just going to just skip it. Yeah. FCC opens investigation into interconnection. Oh, this is where your online providers that do streaming services and stuff get pulled in the question. And guess what? It's where
Summer
Comcast comes out of the fucking woodwork here. Like, what? We wasn't paying nobody to, what? Yeah, Netflix began paying Comcast and Verizon fees to resolve video quality issues. Yeah, that's why they were streaming shit.
Yep.
So the FCC begins investigating interconnection and peering agreements. I didn't know they were an investigatory source. Bill introduced to ban internet fast lanes. Like we're
And it really should be banning slow lanes, right? Because in reality, they switched it around to make people think, you're getting fast lanes. In reality, but they're just really introducing slower lanes.
They should just ban lanes and build Tesla towers.
Boom. All lanes. I mean, there's an option. You can have a lane if you want. But there's also free shit right there. Yeah.
I just want a Lana lane.
Give me the fucking lane. Lowest lane.
Lowest lane, Lana lane, whatever. One of those two is great.
Lane's a lane.
July 15th. T-Mobile exempts some music streaming from data cap. See, like now all these other little companies are just kind of like jumping on before the legislation gets pushed through, because they, obviously they're intel providers like inside are like, hey, you know what, you better do this before they go and do that, and it's like, okay, so T-Mobile jumps on the fucking boat and they exempt some of their music streaming from data caps, get some more customers. And then FCC receives 1.1 million comments. Guess what? FCC gets fucking hammered.
And that's it. That's funny because it's like Pootie Pie gets more comments than that, you know?
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, but it's just funny because like the thing is that they were like opposed to fast lanes. Maybe they should have invested in fast lanes because they got fucking hammered. The servers fucking hammered. And
Yeah.
then Big Four wireless carriers hit with transparency complaint. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, open internet transparency rules. The only portion of the rules that survive the DC Circuit's opinion. Public knowledge initiates complaints against AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon for failing to disclose policies for throttling wireless subscribers. So now, have you ever been throttled at like a hotel or at a park or like a like a coffee shop, like you want to download like a 5 gigabyte file and it comes down like 23 kilobytes like an hour. Like you're gonna have to buy a lot of fucking coffee. But anyway, throttling is just a bad like like throttling is necessary if you have like a low bandwidth. But then what you should do is instead of like limiting the speed, you should just limit the number of users. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like you can't have like if I have like enough seats for like 15 people in my coffee shop, I'm not going to pile 300 in there and then give them smaller cups. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like make them all sit on each other's laps. No, it's just like you get 13 people in here at the same time. Fuck, like it's like really not rocket science, but everyone like when it comes to cattle feed, which by cattle feed I mean fiat currency, these cocksuckers will do just about whatever.
Yeah. They will.
And moving on now, Internet Slowdown Day. A broad collection of public interest groups, companies, individuals participate in Internet Slowdown Day. Fucking, that's like every day on Google for us.
Yeah, it is.
Urging the public to weigh in on the FCC's proposed open internet rules. I would like to know if anybody out there has any idea who actually, let me go back there. If anybody has any idea who initiated that campaign, I would love to know. Did I just fuck off with that? Oh, I did
Yeah,
too.
you did.
Whoopsies. Wrong arrow. But yeah, I'd like to know who initiated that. That would be this.
Mozilla Firefox. I'm pretty sure Mozilla did.
Yeah, you would say? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like Mozilla started off, they were open source. Like I don't know. Like
Wow, it's really screwing you up.
no, it's all right. I just got a slow machine. I actually know when my machine like gets ahead of me because I'm pretty slow, but my machine's slower. Yeah, that would be interesting to see like who actually initiated that one because
I
like
think
that's late.
probably it was EFF.org, Electronic Freedom Foundation. It wouldn't be surprising if they brought it up and people were like, "Yeah, let's jump on board that."
Oh yeah.
They're good instigators.
Well, okay. Well, we're okay. Hang on a second here.
For getting there.
New proposal leaks. Okay, sorry. Okay, so FCC releases. Okay, where were we? Okay, right up to here, right? Oh yeah, right after this. Okay, cool.
Yep.
FCC opens investigation into interconnection. That was with Netflix, Comcast. Bill introduced a ban internet fast lanes. Motherfuckers get data for free, and they get their servers blown out. Transparency complaint. Yeah, the only rule that made it in their net. I kind of think that's funny. It's like any kind of legislation is like that too. It's like
Right.
they throw in like 150 things, hoping that 3 of them get through. It's like yes.
Yep.
Reply. Okay, push talk. Okay. Oh, here we go. President Obama endorses Title II. Actually, let's back up one. I'll hit the right arrow this time. Um, yeah. Reply comments push docket to 3.7 million on the FCC server. Before it was 1.1, I believe.
Yeah.
Now it's 3.7 million. People are pissed. People are responding. They're using this interweb and all those series of tubes. Here they go. And hopefully they have a fast lane.
Gonna have to have
President
one if we're gonna
Obama.
keep doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, there goes President Obama. Endorses Title II. Same guy. He's all for net neutrality. Now he's supporting strong open internet rules.
More
What's that enough?
bureaucracy tape.
Yeah. Bureaucracy tape. And he would have been. Yeah, I swear to God, before Steve Jobs died, I thought he would be in a fucking Apple commercial. I swear to God, like as president, getting out of the fucking like car, like like the presidential car, like with that faux fucking like red background and like silhouetted black, like you can't even just like the
I know
iPod
one of the
commercials.
richest
Yeah,
person in the world didn't even donate money to anybody.
and then start doing the robot. I'm the president. I'm the president. Yeah. And I got an iPod.
Oh, that Wheeler fucker.
Oh yeah, Wheeler.
I just said it.
I was just gonna say, sorry, discussion drafted bill addressing FCC's authority. So FCC's authority over net neutrality. Well, net neutrality advocates raised concerns about the bill both when it's introduced and during its hearing. So now it's like still at this point, and this is 2015. Still, nobody knows who is the boss of the internet.
I'm the boss of the fucking internet.
Oh, fuck you! I'm the boss of the internet.
That's the point. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are, and so am I. Because it's mine,
boss.
and it's yours. It's nobody else's. It doesn't belong to some particular other person.
I'm Tom Wheeler's boss.
It's just like Mr. Logic when he said it's tubes and tubes. Yeah, and without our tubes,
Not a truck that you just dump stuff onto.
Without my tube, you don't have anything. Without our collective tubes, they have shit.
Yeah.
There's nothing there without us. So it's ours. So they can kiss our fucking butts.
So Title II gets I don't know, not approved, but gets I don't know commented on by Obama. Chairman Wheeler endorses it. He's like, yeah, we're all up for Title II. Title II, guys, is the lead up to Comcast winning. FCC passes Title II net neutrality rules. Now, this is a new net neutrality. This is not the tree hugging net neutrality that we all wanted to get fuzzy about. This is like passes open internet rules applying to both wired and wireless internet connections grounded in Title II authority. No, what? I'm gonna just kind of, and you notice how there's no more forward arrows?
Yeah.
Guys,
I'm here with you.
Just like with our other like rules and things that we've grown up thinking that were cool and stuff. You can't bury or outlaw or make a concept illegal or wrong until you've identified it and made it a law first.
Exactly.
This is how bureaucracy works.
Yep.
As soon as you identify and define it, and then you make it legal, then you can make it illegal later through bureaucracy. Yep. And that's exactly what they did. It took 10 motherfucking years or 15 years, but that's exactly what's happened, guys.
Well, yeah, bring your rationale to the situation in the first place as being a real situation.
Problem, reaction, solution. Here's the problem. We're reacting to it. There's their solution.
Hey, free speech. You know what? All the hippies that fucking died of ODs and I'm being facetious now, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
for all the people who struggled and fought for our rights for free speech in the 70s and the 60s and the 50s, guess what? When those things were ratified and turned into rights that we held dear, guess what? That was the beginning of the end, because as soon as they can create rights, they are defined and they become laws. They can be turned over by bureaucracy.
Don't you love
Period.
democracy? You know, it's just,
Democracy died a long time ago.
yeah, Plato talked about it. Leading to oligarchies, and leading to plutocracy, leading to military occupations. It's all that comes out
Absolutely.
of democracy.
I want to just say that everybody out there listening, if anyone's listening still, I don't know. Oh, we got 28 watching, it
Yeah.
says. Um, uh, I'm gonna take this off a live broadcast now, but I want to give you guys a chance to say whatever the hell you want to say. Um, I'm gonna go left to right. Jason, you're on the far left for me, so go for it.
Well, have a good night, everyone. Nice talking to you guys.
Cool. And don't go anywhere. We're gonna have a after show talk here. Grim,
Hey, what's
any
up, bro?
words? Any words?
Yeah, man, net neutrality can suck my butt. Uh,
I'm ready, Ken.
yeah. And just sharpening my pitchfork as we speak. You know, that kind of shit. Because I don't know. What are you gonna do? I'm not you gonna sit there and take it? You're not allowed to watch your virtual living room with a friend or something. You know what I mean? I don't believe in that bottlenecking me so tightly that I have to, I have to actually start thinking that maybe it'd be all right if I asked permission to go to my own restroom or something. Fuck that. I'm not gonna get controlled like that.
Man.
All right. If you can see, if you've ever, if you've ever been in a punitive situation, then you can recognize this as a punitive
Hello,
situation.
I'm gonna sue for punitive damages.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
That was
Punitive.
a Jerky Boys
Not
quote.
curative, but punitive. It's almost.
That's an old Jerky Boys quote. I'm sure I was just.
That's all right. Yeah. But on that note, it was good having it was good having me on your show.
It was good me having me with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah. Hey guys, listen out there. Just wanted to do like a 12, last 12, 13 years in review on net neutrality and kind of give you guys a little bit of insight on what it actually is and what it really represents, because it's, it's a big pile of bullshit. All it is a catchphrase for a bunch of people who didn't know who was boss, and then somebody wanted control, didn't get control, and now it's pushed in by the government, which we all know is the seven-headed hydra. So
Yep.
on that note, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I'd like to thank my panelists. Like to thank all the live chat people there. It's been relatively
Oh,
peaceful and somewhat troll free. I appreciate that. Anyway, guys, want y'all to take care. Take care of each other, and may not hear from me for a little while, but I'll be around. Peace out, everybody.
Yeah, yeah.